Hey YouTube, another special video for you, another unusual video. So this video I'm sharing a DIY repair by a friend Jay who had a coolant leak, and as many of you guys probably know watching this that these 997 turbo have a known issue with the coolant pipe where the epoxy, the glue that's used to hold the fitting eventually comes off, especially if you track the car, and over time they will eventually fail. Another common issue is the plastic elbow pipes underneath the manifold. It's also another common failure. So anyway, I just want to share with you some of the pictures he took and some of the video he took in this video, and try to edit it so that I think you'll find it interesting. Thanks.
Alright, it's Friday, March 20th. I worked a little bit on the car yesterday. Basically removed the tires, wheel liners, bumper, crash bar. Essentially I've got all of the underbody covers off that need to come off. I've released the coolant fitting here, the coolant fitting for the heater system, and there's this funky clip that you see zip tied to the AC lines. Nothing else has been done. The oil has been drained and the coolant has been drained out of these two fittings, and released the pressure from the expansion tank here, and you'll get a free shower of pink goo. What's going to happen today is the throttle body's got to come out, the power steering pump's got to come out, and then the AC compressor's got to come out. You could probably already see all of the wiring harnesses have been disconnected from that connector back there. I've also disconnected the O2 sensors that are here. And also on this side here, the entire block has just been stripped out, so all the connectors are just hanging here ready to drop with the engine. What I did previous to this was just remove the Y pipe and the air box. The throttle body's just been removed. I've unplugged the electrical connector. I'll go ahead and tag that. The fuel cooler lines were removed yesterday. I've go ahead and tag those. This is the one bolt that attaches to here. Obviously the engine temp sensor is there. It's also got a bracket that is underneath this power steering bolt that's going to get cataloged. I'm probably going to keep this bracket with the sensor with the throttle body. Okay, so I got the little bracket that holds the fuel cooler off. It also holds the engine temp sensor just by prying up on this bottom line, a little bit of wiggling, and it comes right out. So I've removed the AC compressor bolts, the three of them. The longer one is in the back. I've located this electrical connector that snaps into this plastic rail back here. Obviously the throttle body's out. This wire goes behind this line and tucks in and just sits on the rail. What I've become stumped on is how to get this compressor out. Something's hanging up. Alright, so the update on the compressor is essentially lift straight up. There's a little groove here on the alternator bracket. You cannot tilt it forward, it's just got to go straight up. And the little AC connector, it's just a stake-on or spade connector. It pulled itself out when I was muscling the compressor out. So the way you get this connection off on the right side of the power steering pump, remove the bolt here, T40. You have to obviously remove the hose clamp. I might have jumped ahead. There is a hose clamp which is up there right now. Just pull it off and slide it out of the way. I guess there's two different versions of this. The version I have is the latest one. You slide this rubber collar which protects this brass ring up and out of the way. Grab yourself a couple of 15mm wrenches, hold the bottom one, spin this top one, and that gets you out of the way. Kind of skip this part, but this part here you kind of spread it apart, rotate it, and then pull it out of the way this way. Otherwise there's really no way to get a wrench on there. So this essentially is a support. This is a support for this fitting, and I guess this is the revised version of it. Okay, out of the expansion tank there is a lower coolant hose that needed to come off as well. I think we are ready to go now. Okay, so the brake booster line is here, plugs into this fitting up on top. There is a disconnect fitting somewhere in the back there. Fuel filter probably did not need to get disconnected. This white line just plugs into this hard line, and this guy here plugs into this thing, and I believe that is it. Alright, we're going down. Alright, the engine is out. Got hung up on the two drive shafts or axles. This black coolant line here, ended up removing it because it was getting hung up. The fuel filter, not sure what happened with that thing, but that needed to be completely disconnected and come down with the engine. I still had it attached to the coolant reservoir, which was a mistake. Everything else on the engine here worked out great. Got hung up on the starter on the same drive shaft on the opposite end, so that had to come out as well. Just undid the two bolts after we lowered the engine about 3 inches. Gave us a little bit of room to get our hands up in there, so pull that out. Now that's out of the way. The reverse sensor over there, that clip was a pain in the ass. Ended up just taking the wire clip completely off and then pushed the connector up, and I think that's it.
That's the end of part one. I'm going to split it up into different parts. There is a lot of clips and contents, again thanks to Jay. So let me know what you guys think and comment below if If you've had this coolant pipe issue, or if you had your car coolant pipe pinned, then thanks.